Houston tonight, back and forth, both clubs rallying in the ninth to take the lead, and the Astros fans are happy they stayed. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight it's Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. Yes, there was plenty of excitement here last night as the Astros got their second game winner from Lance Berkman in the last 3 games, J.D.
Yeah, under the category of you can't keep a good man down. Sunday in Cincinnati, Lance had really struggled, was 0 for the day, had bounced into a couple of double plays, but came up in the top half of the 10th inning and delivered what proved to be the game winner as he turned down this pitch, rattled it into the right field corner, and then does the trick again last night as the Astros in a wild one have an early lead, see that disappear, get another lead, see that disappear, but all's well that ends well, and Lance delivers that 2 RBI base hit to left field. Great ninth inning last night. Corey Sullivan with a big hit off the bench. Just a good team win. That one would have hurt after having that early lead and letting it slip away.
Coming up from Minute Maid, Wandy Rodriguez is on the mound tonight. His mound opponent, another lefty, John Lannon, as Game 3 of this series makes its way to your home in just a moment. Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, by Jack in the Box, and by Progressive. Both teams ready to go here after that thriller last night, won by Houston 8-7 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Nationals captured the opener of this series 14-4 Monday afternoon. Now it's Game 3 between Washington and Houston, with the finale coming tomorrow at 1:05. Starting lineup for Jim Riggleman's Nationals, brought to you by Capital One. Niger Morgan leads it off. He's the center fielder, the batting second so far in this series. And he flip-flops with Christian Guzman, who's at second base, batting second now. Adam Dunn hits third, playing first base. The cleanup man is third baseman Ryan Zimmerman. with Josh Willingham in left field, Ian Desmond at shortstop. Michael Morse is the right fielder against the lefty Wandy Rodriguez. The catcher is Will Nieves, and the pitcher is lefty John Lannon.
Now Wandy coming off a very difficult start last time out, has not really hit his stride yet in 2010. As you look at the numbers for 10 starts, he's 2-7 with a 5.37 ERA. Lost 20, struck out 36, allowed a 3.18 batting average. Defensively, Lee, Bourne, and Pence. Left, center, right. Feliz, Manzella, Keppinger, and Berkman cover the infield. And the Quintero does the catching.
Rodriguez has lost his last 3 starts. He is 3-1 lifetime against Washington with a 5.55 ERA in 6 starts. Nyjer Morgan, 256, 9 runs batted in. Strike one to Morgan. Morgan has scored 28 runs. He's had a big series already with 5 hits and a walk. Stolen a couple of bases. And he takes that one for a strike. And Morgan has scored 6 runs in this series so far. Dribbles that one foul. No balls, 2 strikes for Wandy Rodriguez with a 2-7 record and a 5.37 ERA.
And there are the numbers. Last 3 times out. Middle of May at LA, pitched well but lost. And a credible effort against Tampa Bay, and then scuffled a big time last time against the Reds. Of course, they were red hot when the Astros went into town. A lot of good swings at it.
Curveball is grounded into right field for a hit. Morgan's on with a leadoff single, and he has 11 steals this year.
And Wandy expressed frustration with his breaking pitch after that start against the Reds. I thought his fastball command was a big problem for him in that game, and it looked like the Reds were sitting on the fastball. Here, an 0-2 curveball, and just kind of floated up there as opposed to that good, sharp downer that he typically features.
Christian Guzman, the second baseman who has been leading off the first 2 games, now drops back to the number 2 spot. And he takes strike one. Guzman has the second best batting average in the National League, .324, with 16 runs batted in, and has 4 hits in this series so far. He's a switch hitter who handles the bat very well. Big cut there, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Guzman from the right side hitting .393 this year. And your first reaction might be, well, he probably doesn't have that many at bats, but he's had 56 ABs as a right-handed hitter, 22 hits.
Takes that one, and it's a ball. He hit .381 in the month of May to lead the National League with 4 doubles, a triple, and 8 runs batted in. Jim Riggleman had moved Nyjer Morgan down to the number 2 spot the last 2 games. Now has restored him to the leadoff position. Things weren't going too well for Nyjer, but now he is on, and with his speed can create some havoc. Tommy Manzella, Jeff Keppinger set up to turn 2 here on Guzman. Runner going, swing and a miss at a curve. The throw from the knees by Quintero, not in time. Morgan gets his 12th steal. Guzman struck out for out number 1.
Morgan came into the series struggling in all phases of the game. He wasn't hitting well. He was struggling defensively, and he was not very effective running the bases, but that has certainly turned around here in this series. On base quite a bit. Effective stealing bases. Went on first move there, just guessed and guessed right.
Now he's in scoring position for Adam Dunn, who has 27 runs batted in with 10 homers and a .269 batting average. He drove in 4 in the Monday game. 2 for 8 in this series. And rips that one foul for strike 1.
Not anticipate Morgan trying to steal third base with a left-handed hitter up, but that doesn't mean you can't keep an eye on him. If you get lazy and you don't make him stop his secondary lead out there, he'll probably try to get it.
Good numbers for Dunn against Rodriguez. Quintero now will not be able to throw him out as he goes to third on a pitch in the dirt. Count is 1-1 on Adam.
See the way the Astros are deployed there, and Morgan holding his ground with the delivery. Then he sees the ball in the dirt, and he's off to the races.
Jeff Keppinger's out in right field for Dunn. Manzella up the middle. Fouls it. 1-2. Here's the way the Astros have their defensive team stacked up for this big left-handed power hitter.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall in my mind's eye an Adam Dunn ground ball to short setting. I just doesn't hit the ball on the ground very often.
No, he does not.
And almost never the other way. If he hits it the other way, it's almost always in the air.
That's Ryan Zimmerman on deck. In fact, only 2 hitters in the National League had a lower ground ball to fly ball ratio last year than Dunn. But he hits a line drive to left field to make it 1-0 Nationals. Dunn heads for second base. Carlos Lee with the throw to Manzella, who relays it, and it gets by Jeff Keppinger, backed up by Berkman. RBI double for Dunn, his 16th two-base hit. Morgan scoring, and Dunn drives in his 28th.
Well, finding the strike zone has not been a problem for Wandy, but he's not been able to put away these National hitters. He got Guzman with Morgan running, but now Dunn gets him. You know, Adam kind of assumed double pretty early there.
He did.
He was kind of cruising as he rounded first base.
Ball 1 to Zimmerman. Has the top slugging percentage in the league, .599. .306 average, 11 homers, 31 driven in. A couple of hits, including a homer and 4 runs batted in this series. He's walked 6 times in this series and scored 5 runs.
Good quiet lower body, and pings that ball to left field. And not like he was Cadillacing it. Just because he's just so big.
He is big. 2 balls and a strike. Speed is not his thing. He gets to trot around the bases quite often. Zimmerman is 3 for 9, including a homer against Wandy. He's a .355 career hitter against Houston. He's ahead 3-1 in the count. Nationals began the day 4.5 games out in the NL East in last place. Not too far away from first place Atlanta. The Braves won 2-1 over the Phillies.
Braves swept the Phillies in that series. Phillies have lost 9 of 11. Just their offense has disappeared.
It really has. Philadelphia now 2.5 behind Atlanta. Zimmerman takes a walk, another one for him.
4 last night, and Brett Myers pitched very cautiously to Zimmerman all night. It seemed to be the game plan for Myers to be careful with Zimmerman, who had very good numbers against him, and then attack Dunn, who had struggled against him. And Myers pitched very well, punched out 10, 7 innings, was in position to get the win. Had to settle for no decision, but he was very good again last night.
Brad Mills really elated at the way the Astros pulled together to win that game after giving up 4 in the 5th inning, and then 1 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th. Josh Willingham with 10 homers, 36 runs batted in, presents a good threat. To left center field, Carlos Lee moving in. 2 outs. And Willingham, who has a .429 on base average, second best in the league, jumps on the first pitch and becomes an easy out number 2. Now Ian Desmond. The young shortstop with a .265 average, has 4 homers. He's driven in 28. He's had a nice series, 3 for 10 with 3 runs batted in. Mike Morse is on deck. Desmond's driven in 9 runs in his last 7 games. He started the bat, couldn't stop it on the curve at strike 1. Nationals 1 game below 500 at 26-27.
No doubt about that one.
It's 1-1 to Desmond. Nationals are on a long road trip. They're 3-5. They lost 2 of 3 at San Francisco and lost 2 of 3 at San Diego before coming here. They go back home after the series finale tomorrow. It's 1-2. On June 8th, the much heralded Steven Strasburg makes his major league debut in Washington against Pittsburgh.
And that will be the second day of the amateur draft, so about a year to the date when he was drafted, he will make his debut. Choir of Angels will break out. Fanfare.
The game is almost sold out right now. Foul ball. He has certainly blazed a trail through the minor leagues this season. Jim Riggleman will have him in his rotation next week. He's to pitch tomorrow. His final AAA outing. And the Nationals also have the first pick in this year's draft. Strike 3. Wandy Rodriguez limits the damage to 1 run, 2 hits. He strikes out his second to end the top of the first inning with the score. Nationals 1, Astros coming up. One. Michael Bourne leads it off in center field. He's followed by Jeff Keppinger at second base. Lance Berkman is the first baseman. A big night last night with 5 runs batted in for Lance. Carlos Lee follows him in left field. It's Hunter Pence in right field. Pedro Feliz plays third base with Tommy Manziel, the shortstop. Humberto Quintero is the catcher for Wandy Rodriguez.
John Lannon, the opening day starter last year and this for the Washington Nationals, is 2-2 with an ERA of 5.01. Like most of their starters, he is not overpowering. He's a contact guy. You see just 18 strikeouts in 55 2/3 innings. He's walked 26 and allowed a .295 batting average. And he has certainly had his struggles. Finesse left-hander.
Michael Bourne bunts it back to Lannon. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Easy play there for Lannon. He'll get help from Willingham, Morgan, and Morse in the outfield. Zimmerman, a Gold Glover, but he made a critical error last night. He and Desmond and Christian Guzman have the middle of the diamond. Big out of gun at first. Will Nieves back behind the dish.
Jeff Keppinger moves into the box. Keppinger on another nice run lately. He's 4 for 9 in this series. Backs him up for ball 1. 3-0-2 for Jeff with 18 runs batted in. And he's gone 6 for 13 on a 3-game hitting streak. Takes a strike and it's 1-1. Keppinger is very good at hitting lefties. 340 is his career average against left-handed pitching.
Lannon, he's another one of those backwards pitchers. Left-handed hitters have worn him out this year. Lefty's hitting .411 against him. Righty's .256.
It's 3-1. Those numbers you talked about, Lannon has left himself room for improvement. And Keppinger 341 against lefties. Standing in to face the 3-1 pitch now. There's ball 4 to Jeff. He's aboard for Lance Berkman. 27 walks now, 56 innings for Lannon. And it's Lance Berkman, a .241 hitter with 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. We had the big 5 RBI game last night, another game winner at the bottom of the 9th inning. That was his first walk-off hit since he hit a walk-off homer in August of '08 against St. Louis. The 5 RBI game last night for Lance, the most since he drove in 5 in '08 in June against Milwaukee. Ground ball into left field. Keppinger to second, and the Astros have something working. 2 on, 1 out for Carlos Lee.
Yeah, I think Lance just seeing the ball a lot better from both sides of the plate in recent days. He's much more aggressive attacking that first pitch. That's an indication that he's seeing it pretty well, and not trying to feel his way through an at-bat.
Lance came out again today for more early hitting, as he did yesterday, but he downplayed the results in the game stemming from the early hitting. Carlos Lee with a .206 average, has 5 homers. He's driven in 21 runs. Carlos 2 for 9 in this series with an RBI. Hunter Pence is on deck. And it's strike 1 call. Bruce Dreckman is umpiring home plate tonight. Carlos is 6 for 12 with a homer against Lannon. Lannon's 3-1 against the Astros. Double play ball here. Guzman with a toss. Desmond, the middleman, 4-6-3 to end the Astros first. With no runs a hit and a man stranded, 1-0 Nationals through 1.
For the second, Greg Lucas on the press level. Don't forget, this is Wednesday. It's live chat night, so just go to the website, foxsportshouston.com, and you can easily click on. We have one question for J.D. J.D., because of the volatile nature that you have, a fan wants to know if you were ever ejected from a game.
Never, no. Not as far as I can recall professionally. One time in a college summer league, I got ejected. I was down in the bullpen and I was chirping at one of the base umpires. I got kicked out of that game, deservedly so.
So the truth we know now, it did in fact happen once.
Yeah, but never professionally and never, as far as I remember.
Okay, well, thank you. If people have other questions about JD or other people, live chat tonight. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.
Please, no questions about traffic tickets and things of that embarrassing nature. 1 ball, 1 strike, or 0-2 rather, on Morse. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right fielder who bats right, and that's why he's in there against Wandy Rodriguez tonight. .250 for Morse. He was a pinch hitter in last night's game. He came off the disabled list on May 16th. He's gone 3 for 10 since he came back from a left calf injury. It's 2-2 to Morse. He spent 14 games on a rehab assignment with AAA Syracuse. He's been a very good pinch hitter. .343 average in the pinch of his career. Throws it back.
So I guess that's the roots of the term, a pinch hitter. That'll do in the pinch.
Yeah.
Or which came first, the pinch hitter come first, or the more widely used in the pinch?
That's a very good question. Christy Mathewson wrote a famous book called Pitching in a Pinch. Struck him out with a heater, and that's strikeout number 3 for him. You ever read that book?
I did not. I know he was a learned man.
Yes, he was. Bucknell, right?
That sounds right, yeah. Back in a time when most of the players were kind of ruffians and rubes and ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, they were from countries like Ireland.
Yeah, scallywags.
They were troublemakers. Will Nieves, 213, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Imported thugs. There's ball 1 to Nieves. Nieves has done a nice job filling in for the injured Pudge Rodriguez. He got 2 hits last night. Climbed the ladder a little bit there, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Nieves had a single and a double in last night's game. Houston out-hit Washington 15-8 last night. Well, the Nationals have been involved in 19 one-run games already. They were none too pleased last night. They thought the had Lance Berkman struck out for the final out of the game on a check swing call by third base umpire Bill Hahn, and they let him know about it after the game.
Billy Hahn was the guy behind home plate with the Oswalt issue, ejected Roy. So the first controversial play tonight is going to be at second base. Poor Bill. I mean, it's just going to chase him this whole series. The whole idea of the way the umpires rotate is after the grind of working home plate, third base is supposed to be kind of a night off. Not as many decisions, not as many tough calls. And right there in the middle of it again at the end of the game last night.
Curveball line to right field. Hunter Pence over, and a good catch. Two outs. He read that ball well off the bat.
Well, Wandy wobbled a little bit there in the first, but got out just allowing the 1 run. And sometimes that's all you need as a pitcher. Just get off the hook early and get into a little bit of a rhythm. And that pitch right there, that's the one. It's a good fastball down around the knees. Didn't get the call there, but he needs to be able to hit that spot a little bit more consistently. Last year he did it almost at will.
But it kind of froze on that one.
Well, that's 2 in a row that I think Wandy felt like were strikes.
Lannon certainly taking, and it's 2-1. John, with 1 hit in 19 at bats, has an 0.53 average. He doesn't mind a walk at all.
Pitch Tracks brought to you by Jexa Energy. Agreeing with Bruce Dreckman.
2-2 to Lannon. National starters have combined to win 14, lose 14 with a 4.65 ERA. And that is strike 3. Wandy fourth the fastball past Lannon for his 4th strikeout. 1-0 Nationals in the second.
Welcome back, 1-0 Washington. And fans, here's your chance to be a part of the excitement of the all-new Chevy Malibu Diamond Edition. For your chance to sit in a suite for an upcoming Astros game, courtesy of your Houston area Chevy dealers, just log on to FoxSportsHouston.com and click on the Chevy Malibu Suite Night giveaway link. Sounds like a plan, guys.
Very good plan, Patty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right here, it's 1-0 Washington. John Lannon, 25 years old, from Long Beach, New York. Went to Siena College, where he was 10-2 with a 2.29 ERA as a junior. He faces Hunter Pence. And there's strike 1 for Lannon to a 277 hitter with 9 homers, 24 runs batted in. Hunter 2 for 7 with a leading homer last night. He broke a 4-4 tie, flying a home run into the Landry's Crawford boxes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hunter has hit .352 for the last 22 games with 7 homers and 17 runs batted in. So he's the club leader now in homers and runs batted in. A pretty nice surge. And it misses that. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Lannon's got your 4 basic pitches: fastball, curve, slider, and a changeup. Changeup has been a pretty good weapon for him in his major league career. That's probably why he's been so much better against right-handed hitters than lefties. Changeup fading down and away from the right-handed hitters. The guy's not a real hard thrower. They're looking to jump on a fastball.
Grounded it short. 2 hopper for Desmond. 1 out for Lannon. Got the double play ball on Lee in the first. Lannon was drafted in 05 in the 11th round.
Siena College, that's in Albany, New York. More noted for their basketball program in recent seasons.
That's true.
The year the pitcher continues, Armando Galarraga has a perfect game through 8 innings tonight.
Amazing.
Detroit leads Cleveland 1-0.
Detroit now batting in the bottom of the 8th. Miguel Cabrera provided the only run back in the second inning with his 15th homer. Pedro Feliz is 3 for 7. This ball 1 to Pedro. 2 homers, 17 runs batted in. He made an excellent play last night on Josh Willingham in the 4th inning, a diving play to his left. Sean Berry was really captivated by the camera work on the telecast, showing that Feliz play to his left last night.
We got the best in the business, Sean.
Absolutely. 2-1. He was amazed by all the different angles replays. Maybe from that camera. Into right center field. A hit for Feliz. Nigel Morgan gets in front of it and holds him to a single. And he's really been banging out more line drives the last few days after he had those couple days off to work on his hitting early and didn't play in the games.
And just trying to stay on the ball a little bit better. The head still staying through it, not pulling off, not trying to yank it. I think that's what hitters do when they really struggle. They go back to bases and they're just willing to hit the ball on the line the other way, hit it up the middle, and then once you get a little more comfortable, then you start trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark or put a more aggressive swing on it.
Tommy Manzella pops it up. Out of play for Adam Dunn. Strike one to Manzella, a 205 hitter with 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. There it is for all to see.
I like the way he was almost very ceremonial the way he celebrated that catch. He's going to stay with it. Good hands. And just raises it up, not overly joyous, and then just turning in each direction.
It's tough when you're in those seats. Bunted beautiful by Manzella. Ryan Zimmerman does not have a play. That's how good a bunt it is from Manzella. And it's runners at first and second with 1 out. That was the same situation in the first inning. That was disguised well by Manzella.
Zimmerman a couple of strides behind the base. The key there, don't show early, and Manzella did not. And then he drops down a sweetheart of a bunt. Zimmerman, one of the best in the business. You probably figured out, trying to make a play here. I might throw that ball in the right field corner. Might as well hang on to it.
Yep. 2 on for Quintero now. Humberto has 5 runs batted in. Strike 1 to him. He's hitting .232. 1 homer. Lannon got a win at San Diego in his last start, going 7 innings, allowing 1 earned run. Beat the Padres 5-3. To right field. That'll back up Morse on the track. And the runners do not advance. 2 outs. Your league leaders is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. We'll show you the National League team leaders and infield hits. Houston has 56 to lead the National League. Bourne and Pence are the 2 who have the most on the Astros.
Yet still in last place, despite all those infield hits.
Yeah, you can just see that rallying cry now in spring training. Guys, let's go out there and lead the league in infield hits. Wandy Rodriguez has 5 hits in 18 at-bats. And there's ball 1 to him. He's driven in 1. Michael Bourne on deck. Rolls 1 foul. Hit it twice. 1-1 to count.
Wandy certainly wins the matchup in terms of pitcher hitting here tonight. Lannon is just horrible. And Wandy handles the bat pretty well. Got a chance to help himself. The Astros pitchers have been very good with the bat in their hands so far this year. No food up there, Wandy.
1-2. Lannon is 2-1 on the road. His ERA away from Nationals Park is 5.08. And he spins one up there and gets his first strikeout of the night. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left, 1-0 Nationals through 2.
Third inning, Kids Free All Summer presented by Minute Maid is back this summer. For every full-price adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free kids tickets if they're 14 years of age and under. Kids can also earn rewards for coming to Astros games with the Kids Passport program. Visit Astros.com for tickets and details.
Inning number 3 begins with the top of the order, and it's Nigel Morgan. Looking at ball 1 from Wandy Rodriguez. He opened the game with a single to right on an 0-2 curveball. Fouls that one back, and it's 1-1. Detroit has scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th to lengthen its lead to 3-0 over Cleveland. Still batting right now before Galarraga comes out for the 9th.
Just amazing.
Isn't it, though?
I mean, in the modern era, there's never been 2 perfect games. There's only been 20 all time. End up with 3 in one season.
In the dirt this time, and it's 2-2 to Nigel Morgan.
Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 1-0 in 14 innings today. Yeah, it's coming on the heels of a 1-0 game last night between those two.
Matt Kemp won that one with a home run. Curveball tap foul. Are we having a flashback to 1968 or what's going on?
The year of the pitcher, 1968. When Bob Gibson fashioned that 1.12 ERA. That's about a half a run higher than what Ubaldo Jimenez has done so far this year. And think about how good Roy Halladay has been. His ERA is a run higher than Jimenez.
Mickey Lolich won what, 30 games, or Denny McClain rather won 30 games that year. That was close. They appeal at third. No swing, Gary Darling. 3-2.
To me, that's a combo strike there. Close enough and half a swing. Bring him up.
Rodriguez is 1-3 in his home ballpark with a 4.70 ERA at Minute Maid. Fastball. Berkman lays out for it. Throws to Wandy and in time at first. The throw led him perfectly to first base.
Pretty play. Pretty play. And if Lance doesn't come up with that and Keppinger does, it's going to take a little extra time, and they're not going to get Nigel Morgan with his speed. And if you're the pitcher here, you got to get over there in a hurry. You can't afford to waste any time. You know, as youngsters, we were taught when we cover first base to come to a point about 30 feet from the bag and then curl down the line. But with the speedy guys, you got to take a pretty direct route to the base if you're going to beat a guy like Nigel Morgan.
That's what he did.
And it presents a little bit more difficult of an angle on the throw.
Guzman fouls at strike 1. The Astros had their usual workout for infielders. They have those periodically at home, and Lance and the other infielders were engaging in that pregame workout before batting practice. Lance also taking extra swings, so he got a lot of work in before this game today. He felt bad about his throwing error last night. Went up to Brad Myers and apologized. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Astros had 2 errors in the 5th inning last night when Washington scored 4 runs. Only one of them earned. And the Astros have had a 4-0 lead going into that inning. 50 pitches for Wandy. Two and 1. Phil Hughes and the Yankees are shutting out Baltimore 6-0 through 5 at Yankee Stadium. Manzella gets a 2-hopper. 2 outs. If the Astros can get Wandy going, and he's had 2 quality starts in his last 3 losses, really allow them to put some things together. Usually winning streaks are built around a string of solid starts by the pitchers. The way Felipe Paulino threw the ball was dazzling in Cincinnati. Adam Dunn fouls it, strike 1.
Yeah, and if your starting pitching is good enough, too, you avoid the long losing streak. Because if you have a number of guys in your rotation capable of going out there pitching a shutdown game, you usually can avoid the long losing streak.
Dunn takes the curve, and it's 1-1 to Adam. Bryce Harper is thought to be in line to be the top player drafted next Monday in the draft by the Nationals. They're not revealing their plans. They're saying they're focusing on one player right now, but they're not saying who it is. 1-2. He's a switch-hitting catcher who graduated from high school early with a GED, went to junior college in Utah, and now he's coming out for the draft after 1 year of junior college. Curveball, he struck him out. That's 5 strikeouts for Wandy, who has retired 8 straight. 1-0 Nationals.
Times I come out and talk to a father and son. Well, this time I've got a father, son, and his daughter out here at the game. Craig, Madison, and Cannon. And Craig, I know you guys are having a great time at the ballpark tonight.
Oh, it's been a great time. We're big Astro fans, but I might have to say our cousin Tim Foley's a coach for the Nationals, so we're kind of torn, but go Astros.
All right, and I know we're celebrating tonight, Cannon, because you made All-Stars, right? What position do you play?
Center field.
For
Lamar Little League.
Well, congratulations. Madison, do you play too?
Yes, ma'am. I play softball for Sugar Land.
And you're a big Astro fan?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. All right, last day of school tomorrow, so I know these guys will be out here quite a bit this summer. Our progressive fans of the game. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Patty. In Detroit, Jason Donald has broken up a perfect game bid with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Armando Galarraga of Detroit.
Absolutely blown call. I pulled it up on the MLB TV. Really? Absolute blown call.
Uh-oh. 1-2 to Michael Bourne. He hits a line drive into center field. Top spin liner. And Michael is on, leading off the 3rd inning for the Astros. How was the call blown?
Well, unless I'm maybe looking at the wrong replay. I may be looking at an ensuing play, but I don't think so. It was a 3-1 put-out play at first base, and Galarraga was there clearly ahead of the base runner, and he was ruled safe.
Uh-oh. Bourne hits his way on.
And I don't mean to talk, we're doing one game and looking at another, but it's going to be a big story.
Okay.
It's just crazy.
We have a developing situation. Jeff Keppinger walked earlier. You asked, by the way, last night, how many times Michael Bourne has led off a game for the Astros with a walk this year. 9 times he's led off a game with a walk. And if count being hit by a pitch, which I'm doing, and he scored runs 8 of those 9 times. You were right on it.
Kind of a common theme. And now there's a fracas breaking out in Detroit. The players getting all over Jimmy Joyce, as is Jim Leland. It is crazy.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe he made that call. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Sorry, folks.
But we digress.
Catch it on your highlights.
And it's Keppinger batting. And taking a ball.
Product of the times in which we live. We got like 9 different things to look at here.
Yes.
Focus.
They have groups for that. 1 ball and no strikes with Lance Berkman on deck. And a favorable count here for Bourne, who's not being held on by Dunn. He's off the base. Trap foul. That's interesting. Wonder if they're trying to do what Willie Stargell did years ago with Joe Morgan.
And with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, and it's a very difficult read for a base runner, you got this big man mountain standing in front of you. It's difficult to get a read. I mean, it's not like Dunn has abandoned ship. He can easily drift back to first base on a pickoff throw from Lannon.
Michael takes off. Ground ball back to Lannon. He doesn't have a play at second. And gets the out at first. And Michael had a really good jump that time. And he did what you would advise somebody to do in that situation. He let off on the other side of Dunn, on the second base side of him.
Get out behind him and just take off. See, and the other thing that does for the defensive team, if he goes on first move on a pickoff throw from Lannon, Dunn is that much closer to second base. He can close that ground in a hurry and get a good angle and a shorter throw.
Good point.
And thought about it. And the smart Sienna guy realized, nope, can't get Bourne.
Now he has to face Berkman with a man in scoring position. Lance single through the left side his first time up.
Tough week for umpires. Joe West and Bill Hahn. And I think it was Jimmy Joyce working the game in Detroit. He's going to hear about it.
Ball 1 to Berkman. Lannon was 9-13 last year with a respectable ERA of 3.88. He worked 206 innings.
And solid major league pitcher. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. He's got good enough stuff, and he's pretty clever out there. Not having a good year this year. He does that pretty well. Commands that outside corner. That's what I was talking about with Wandy. He needs to get back to being able to make that pitch a high percentage of the time. Pitchers get away from that too much.
Berkman takes, and it's 2-1. This Astros lineup, the 7 current Astros who have faced John Lannon, are hitting .448 against him. Berkman 6 for 10 now. To center field, Nigel Morgan with his back to the infield now turns. For the catcher's the tag by Bourne. He'll come to third and round it and hold there. Somebody scored on a 2-base sacrifice fly not too long ago.
Yeah, well, that's one of those plays, Michael Bourne with his speed is just dying to make. And so you bust it hard, give yourself a chance. The way he makes that play is if there's a little bit of a mishandle on the relay throw in. Baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, then why don't you visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Carlos Lee fans are ready for him to deliver here. He bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the first. Hunter Pence is on deck. Nieves went out to talk with Lannon. To left center field with a lot of lift for El Caballo. This one's up on the wall, and that's above the yellow line. A 2-run homer for Carlos Lee. Number 6 of the year, and the Astros have 2 on that swing of the bat.
There's a little redemption for you. 4-6-3 double play to end the first inning with a couple of men on base. All is forgotten with that swing of the bat. Put a charge in it. And the question was, would it be high enough? And just barely. Right there.
Dropped at the railing. And it's 2-1 Houston. Hunter Pence fouls at strike one. He grounded out earlier. That's the second career homer for Carlos off Lannon. Did a 2-run shot off him in 07.
I've got back-to-back home runs on one of my squares on Baseball Bingo. Pence goes deep here. I'm looking good.
I'm enjoying that Baseball Bingo game you pioneered up here in the booth.
That's good. I think this is going to get legs. I'm thinking about renaming it. Instead of calling it Bingo, we'll call it Fungo.
Okay.
But Boods was good enough to make up a bunch of sheets, and we've got some baseball-related plays and some, sleeping baby in the stands, that kind of stuff. Stolen base, rally cap, sack bunt,
rainbow snow cone. Quintero picks off runner.
Bag of sunflower seeds. If you got that on your sheet, mark it down.
Still 1-2 on Hunter.
You have a little bit of a dispute up here, though, because we heard a crying baby, but we didn't actually see one.
No.
So I think you have to see the crying baby to mark it on your sheet.
Ground ball, and Desmond gets in front of it. Good, strong throw. Carlos Lee's 6th homer of the year gives him 23 runs batted in. That makes it 2-1 Astros, 2-3.
Carlos Lee home run, and Fox Sports Houston and the Texas Department of Transportation want to make sure you are safe this summer. Just log on to foxsportshouston.com and send us a photo of you or a friend wearing your seatbelt. One lucky photo will be selected each week to win a prize pack from Fox Sports Houston. TxDOT reminds you to click it or ticket. Guys?
Thanks, Patty. 8 in a row set down by Wandy Rodriguez, who now takes a 2-1 lead in the fourth, and there's strike one to Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman walked in the first inning. His last win was at St. Louis on May 12th.
Yeah. Good start here. Fastball outside edge. And then it could be a changeup. He throws his changeup pretty hard. And sometimes it has a tendency to drift in on right-handed hitters. When he drops his arm angle a little bit, that's something he has to guard against.
1-2.
They'll give you an 89, 91 mile an hour heater and then come back with an 84 mile an hour changeup. Typically, you're looking for a bigger gap than that, but he's effective with that combination of pitches. Here comes the changeup right here. That one at 86.
2-2 to Zimmerman. Zimmerman's a .355 career hitter against the Astros. Wandy has the 6th lowest run support in the league. Curveball looked good, but went for ball 3. 3-2 now.
Zimmerman not a real speedy guy, so Manzella can afford to play deep.
On the curve, he struck him out. 6 strikeouts already for Wandy.
Yeah. Myers got 10 last night, season high. Wandy off and rolling here. Zimmerman, he's been walking so much, he wants to swing the bat. So 3-2, he thought he was going to get a heater. Wandy says, nope, no soup for you. Little Uncle Charlie, have a seat.
Willingham went for the first pitch and hit a fly ball to left in the first inning. There's strike 1 to Josh. Wandy's record at Minute Maid Park is 32-24. No balls, 2 strikes. He's chasing you now for innings pitched by Astros lefties. He pitched 1,102. He has 845.
I'm guessing Bob Knepper's tops on that list?
Yeah, probably. We'll have to look that up. Wandy just passed Dave Roberts. Moved into 4th place. Two and 2. Mets won. San Diego nothing after 7.
When we talk about all the great pitching in San Diego, you start to between the ballpark and how good their pitching is, it's 2-1, 1-0 seemingly every night out there.
Willingham's hit by the curveball. Hit batsman for Wandy.
Just dropped that hook right on top of his front foot.
He had retired 9 in a row. Now Willingham is aboard for Desmond. Desmond struck out looking in the first. Taps that one foul. Strike 1. Tonight's Jack in the Box standings shows you the National League teams whose starters strike out the most batters per 9 innings. The Dodgers are on top. The Astros in second. It's the Giants and the Cubs.
Roy back to being a strikeout pitcher again this year. His strikeout numbers have been down in recent seasons, but he's been outstanding this year.
Curveball works for strike 2. Yes, Bob Knepper is the lefty leader in innings pitched. Astros all-time list, 1,738.
Way to go, Knepp.
Where's Knepp living now? Oregon?
Colorado somewhere, I believe.
Snap throw to first. Willingham back, and it's 1-2.
But on baseball bingo, it's got to be a Quintero pickoff. It can't just be an attempted pickoff.
No.
Because if the attempted pickoff, that would be just like a free space.
Yeah,
that's a given.
He averages, 2 attempted pickoffs per game, something like that. Nationals are 4th in base stealing with 36. They have some tools they can use in their big ballpark to try to get their runners around the bases. They don't have to wait back for the long ball for Jim Riggleman's club. Liner left field. Fair ball into the corner. Now here's Willingham coming to third, and a stop sign for Pat Listash on a double by Desmond. Looked like that ball might hook foul, but it must have stopped hooking when it got pretty far out there into left field. So that's the 8th double for Desmond.
Good-looking young player. He's been a few errors at shortstop this year, but talking to some of the Nationals folks, a couple of those have been kind of difficult calls and maybe a relay throw that short hops the catcher, and the catcher can't handle him. He gets pinned with a tough error. Runs well. Has a little pop in the bat. He had a big hit last night. In the game tying run, I believe it was, top of the ninth.
Yes, it was. A single to left field. Now 2 on for Mike Morse. Morse struck out in the second inning. He takes that for ball 1. Morse has played sparingly with Seattle from 05 through 08, and then he joined this club last year. He was traded in June of last year for Ryan Langerhans. Curveball gets strike 1 for Wandy. That can be such a good pitch for him.
We're talking, was it last night? Yeah, when Stammen was pitching for the Nationals, a guy with decent stuff, but not that one put-away pitch, that out pitch. Wandy certainly has that with the curveball. He's got one of the better curveballs in the league. I imagine a lot of the hitters will tell you, well, we know he's got a really good curveball, and it's tough to hit. So we're just going to try to catch him on a night where he doesn't have command of his curveball, and we'll just look for the fastball.
Another curve gets him strike 2. Last year he struck out 193 in 205 innings. He was 10th in the league in strikeouts per 9 innings last year. He threw 36% curveballs last year. That was number 1 in the league. 2-2.
Don't fall asleep.
San Diego now batting bottom of the 8th, trailing the Mets 1-0. Pedro Feliciano's in for New York. Another curve, misses this time. There's the percentage tonight.
So that would imply that 13% of the time he's thrown his changeup. I'm not sure I buy that.
Okay. Three and 2 with 1 out and Nieves on deck. And ball 4 loads the bases. Second walk to go with a hit batsman.
But we talked about his changeup being a pitch that he throws pretty hard, so sometimes it almost looks like a sinker. He throws his 4-seam fastball at 89, and then his changeup at 84. We saw one at 86. It's almost like a sinker, just a little bit off the fastball with some downward fading action.
He's thrown 76 pitches, 21 in this inning. His turnaround began in the first. He had given up the RBI double to Dunn. He had walked Zimmerman, got Willingham and Desmond.
Walk there to Morse. One of those situations where he had a base open, didn't want to give in. Now this sets up the double play.
Brad Arnsberg would love to see that from Nieves, who lined to Hunter Pence in right. Well, let's see. 11% off speed for Wandy. You buying that?
Yeah, it just depends on how they're breaking that down.
Okay. Strike 1 to Nieves. Brett Myers went 7 strong innings last night. 0-2. Came in for a lot of kudos from his teammates and manager after the game last night. He struck out 10. Listash talks with Willingham. And there's Desmond. And Morse at first. Toronto leads Tampa Bay 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Toronto. Astros don't go to Washington until September.
Big situation here early in the game. Q wants to have a chat with Wandy, make sure they're on the same page here. Got Nieves down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Don't want to let him off the hook. Get that fish in the boat. How are we going to do it? Ooh, a hit by pitch on my baseball bingo too.
You're getting close to something here. I don't don't know what exactly. A game within a game, they call it, JD.
You know, the pace of baseball could sometimes slow down, so it's good to have a little entertainment, a little mound ball.
Yeah. 1-2 to Nieves. Bud Rodriguez has had a good influence on this team. He's out with an injury right now, but expected back during the next homestand. Lannon is on deck.
Yeah, he did. Good pitch.
Nieves is caught looking. Very big. Out number 2. 7 strikeouts.
You know, a bases loaded situation, but not that perilous with the 8-hole hitter up and down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He thought the ball was up, maybe in. Q set up inside. Wandy hit his spot. 7 punch outs already.
Lannon takes strike 1. He punched out in the second inning.
Outfielders creeping way in. That swing and probably creep in a little bit more.
Yeah. 0-2. Riggleman's club, though, pretty competitive this year. They've won 7 times in their last at bat, and they've lost 7 times in their opponent's last at bat. That's a lot of late inning heroics, both for and against the Nationals. He struck him out. Excellent pitching by Wandy Rodriguez to get him to 8 strikeouts. He struck out the side, no runs a hit. 3 men left, 2-1 Houston. Presented by BBVA Compass. Carlos Lee jacks a 2-run homer in the third to give the Astros a 2-1 lead. Wandy Rodriguez has been spinning the curveball. He has struck out 8 so far. And after a first inning in which he allowed 1 run after 3 men had batted, and then he had 2 men on, he started turning his night around. He leads it 2-1 as the Astros bat in the home 4th inning. Little Astros fan enjoying the night. Tiny Astros fan.
A little wee one. School's about to wrap up around here, so see a lot more kids at the ballpark. Maybe tomorrow afternoon.
A lot more parents at the park too. Those look good.
Going right there.
Oh, ground ball, and there's the play by Guzman to get Feliz, but again, he goes to the opposite field and hits it pretty sharply.
Yeah, staying on the ball. That's a good swing of the bat. Good AB there.
What is that, frozen yogurt?
Oh, big ice cream cone to me. That's a big Coke bottle.
And it's Tommy Manzella who bunted his way aboard first time up.
Hey, Ken Griffey Jr. announced his retirement tonight, too.
Sure did.
What a career for Jr.
Atlanta was trying to sign him over the winter. Fly ball to center. Morgan, 2 outs. Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. First ballot slam dunk, 22 seasons, 630 home runs, 5th all time. And that sweet swing, and boy, could he glide in the outfield. Talk about a 5-tool player. Junior could do it all.
Played alongside his dad in Seattle in the outfield. That's a rarity. 2 outs, and it's Quintero. He flied to right earlier.
And maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't believe any of the stain of all the steroid rumors and speculation, I don't think he was ever caught up in any of that, was he?
You're not mistaken. You're right on with that.
And, so when all is said and done, we have to rethink our thinking about who was the best player of this generation.
True. Good point. On further review, line drive into left center field. A hit for Quintero. 2-out single gets the pitcher to the plate. That can be important even if the pitcher makes the final out in this inning. Astros have had hits in every inning, a total of 6 in the game. Wandy struck out in the second inning. With the 15 hits last night, the Astros are showing some signs of putting some innings together. Strike one. They have been up against a furious run of excellent pitching to open the season. No balls, 2 strikes. The Chicago Cubs are here over the weekend.
Hi.
Tomorrow, to wind up this series, it's Brian Moeller and J.D. Martin at 1:05. Friday night at 7:05, Felipe Paulino opposes Carlos Silva. It's a matchup of reverse records, 0-7 and 7-0. Strikeout ends the 4th. Strikeout number 2 for Lannon. It's 2-1 Astros. Baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, by AT&T, and by Gullo Ford and Gullo Toyota, who bring you the 5th inning. A night for refreshments and watching a 2-1 ball game. Wandy Rodriguez dazzling with 8 strikeouts through the first 4. The Astros lead at 2-1. And And we've had some excitement tonight in Major League Baseball in Detroit, where there's been a one-hitter pitched by Armando Galarraga of the Tigers. And a controversial one-hitter because there was a blown call at first base. Wandy with 8 strikeouts has a season high. It's Nyjer Morgan leading it off, showing bunt, taking strike 1 in the 5th inning. Galarraga with the one-hitter against Cleveland goes to 2-1, beating Fausto Carmona. Miguel Cabrera provided a home run, his 15th. No balls, 2 strikes.
We're talking about the Astros being shortened up with Landon up there, but the outfield is really shallow for Nyjer Morgan as well.
They are.
Essentially daring him to hit it over their heads. Boy, and if he does, he'll run forever.
He has 5 triples. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Derek Lowe of Atlanta beat the Phillies today 2-1, beating Jose Contreras, with Billy Wagner getting his 9th save. Colorado's at San Francisco later tonight. Curveball hit into center field for a hit. So Morgan's been on that curveball for 2 of his hits tonight. And we go to Patty Smith.
Well, guys, on Saturday, the Astros take on Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs at 6:05 in an exciting Central Division matchup. And the first 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a Jimmy Wynn bobblehead, courtesy of AT&T. Buy your tickets tonight at Astros.com. Bill?
And that'll be Roy Oswald and Ryan Dempster Saturday night at 6:05, Patty. Thank you for that. Sunday at 1:05, it's Brett Myers and Randy Wells. Christian Guzman has struck out and grounded out in this game. Morgan stole second back in the 1st inning, his 12th steal of the year in 20 tries. Cubs and Pirates are delayed by weather problems tonight in Pittsburgh. Carlos Zambrano and Zach Duke. It's going to be Duke who draws Steven Strasburg apparently next week in Washington. St. Louis got a run in the 4th and leads Cincinnati 1-0 after 4. Chris Carpenter on the mound for the Cardinals. Ball 1 to Guzman.
And the Astros schedule, it gets pretty tough here. After this weekend with the Cubs, they go to Colorado for 4, then on to New York to play the Yankees for 3. We hit Kansas City, come home to face the Rangers and the Giants, then go off to Texas.
Cappinger's out into right center for the pop-up. Yeah, it does. That's 1 out. That's 90 pitches for Wandy already. AT&T brings you our trivia question of the night. In 1992, Pat Listash was second in the American League with 54 stolen bases. Who was first? 92.
I have a guess. I'm going to sit on it for a little bit.
Okay, I was going to say you could go ahead and let fly with that. Infield shifted around, but hold it for a while. Adam Dunn had the RBI double to left in the 1st and struck out in the 3rd. Poised with that bat pointed out there toward Towles Hill.
It's like Babe Ruth.
Yeah. There's strike 1.
Or Will Ferrell, depending on your perspective.
You could see Will Ferrell doing that.
Well, Jim Thome. Tome's, yeah, not used to, still does.
Not doing it this time, though. It's funny to watch hitters' mannerisms.
Yeah, and you got to have a little individuality. You got to give the kids somebody to copy. And we were kids, it was really Stargell, the way he used to windmill the bat and the pumping action, and then Joe Morgan with the wing flap.
Mm-hmm.
Kids around here for years doing Biggio and Bagwell.
2-1.
Lance, the way he lays his bat down on the ground.
Yeah. Astros pitchers have been crowding Dunn quite a bit so far in this series.
If not for all those idiosyncrasies, batting stance guy wouldn't have a job.
Forgot about him. Apparently it's just a timing device when the pitcher goes into his motion. And now the pickoff throw relayed by Berkman on to Manzella, and they can't mark it. Lagoza caught stealing. He took off as the pickoff throw was on its way to first.
Yeah, last time in the first inning, he successfully stole second base. Same MO. He goes on first move. Very difficult to read a left-hander, so you go on first move and hope he's going home, or you can beat the throw from the first baseman. In this case, Manzella handles that short hop and applies the tag.
Work by Manzella. Dunn swings through it, and it's 2-2 to him. Wandy with his pitch count of 94, though. He's running up a pretty high one for 4 2/3 innings. 3-2. And this has happened a lot. Dunn has taken the pitch inside. Jeffers was way out in right field.
He's playing Rover.
Dunn hits one to Keppinger's right and on into right center. And he's on with his second hit of the night.
You could understand if the Astros put Manzella on the other side of the bag for Dunn.
Yeah.
You see, he stays on the shortstop side. You could have easily have moved him over there and just positioned Feliz at the normal shortstop position.
Well, after the caught stealing, he singles his way on, and it's Zimmerman now. He's walked and struck out. Ball 1 to him.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have mattered where the Astros were deployed. With the caught stealing, he was going to get a hit somewhere.
It's amazing how often that happens. Now 2 balls, no strikes to Zimmerman. Zimmerman has put 3 balls in play in this series. He's been in a take mode or swing and miss. He felt very bad about that error he made that opened the floodgates for the Astros. In the bottom of the 9th inning, an error on Feliz's grounder. He backed up on the ball. Said he thought it was going to come up. He stayed down.
Taking all the way there. I'm sure if he wanted it, he could have taken a rip at it. Some guys don't like to hit 3-0.
Ball 4, and Zimmerman draws yet another walk in this series. That's number 3 of the night for Rodriguez, and now he'll face Willingham with 2 on and 2 out. Willingham has flied to left. He's been hit by a pitch.
And Ryan Zimmerman is a very good hitter. The Astros are pitching to him like he's Ted Williams in this series.
Yes, they are. He had 4 walks last night, 2 tonight, and 2 Monday, so that's 8 in the series in 3 games. Astros walked 7 last night and 6 Monday. Strike to Willingham. 2 men on, Dunn and Zimmerman with 2 outs here in the Washington 5th. One ball, 1 strike. Astros have 6 hits to the Nationals 5. Wandy had a big year last year. He won 14, lost 13, had the 9th best ERA in the league at 3.02. It's 2-1.
And cautious here with Willingham. And the downside of that, of course, is Willingham's very patient. Draws a ton of walks. And if you walk him, you're dealing with another bases loaded situation. He was able to get through a bases loaded situation with 1 out in the 4th inning, but kind of pushing your luck a little bit. So this becomes a very important pitch. Don't want to fall behind 3-1 to Willingham.
That's what he did.
So now, I guess you got to stick to the game plan. If you're being cautious, I guess this would not be the time to throw caution to the wind. You just can't throw him a cookie here. Fastball down and away. Try to hit a spot.
Desmond would be next.
Changeup.
Good time to use that.
Yeah, and there's that changeup that I don't think he tries to throw it that way, but his hand gets around it a little bit, and the ball will actually cut in on a right-handed hitter.
Wilton Lopez is warming up for the Astros. And it works for a strikeout. That is 9 strikeouts.
Whoa. He's calling catcher's interference.
Brad Mills is out right away after the Bruce Dreckman call. And Terrell cannot believe this call of catcher's interference.
For some reason, I remember Willingham and catcher's interference in the past.
Yeah.
This is a call that an umpire is going to make on sound. Well, you see, Q jumps right up tight. We'll get a good look at it here. No, I couldn't tell. But there was no hesitation at all from Bruce Dreckman. He made the call right away. I couldn't see it.
Now Brad Arnsberg's going out. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Desmond.
Willingham obviously felt it.
So now how to get out of this jam. Bases loaded after the Dreckman catcher interference call.
So that's an error on cue, right?
Yes. Quintero draws an error for that call.
You know, the replays, I couldn't see it, but I have to believe it happened. Just the way Willingham reacted and the umpire.
Desmond doubled to left in the 4th after striking out looking in the 1st. He's at 106 pitches. Here's another look.
Must have been right there.
Must have.
Yeah, must have just clicked it on the way by. Willingham may be a smart player, but I can't think of anybody that's smart enough to make that up as they go along. Just claim, catcher's interference.
Pointed back right away. That's ball 1.
So now, a good trip to the mound there by Arnsberg just to get Wandy's mind in the right place. All right, bad break. You had him punched out. But let's not let the situation get the best of us.
In the dirt. 2-0.
Bullpen's going to have to do some work again tonight. 109 pitches now for Wandy.
Two balls and a strike to Desmond. Desmond has walked 9 times this year. By the way, that catcher's interference does not count as an at-bat for Willingham. Oh, 3-1.
Trying to overthrow the fastball a little bit. And that's the thing. If as a pitcher, if you don't trust your fastball in a certain situation, you're probably better off throwing something else. With the curveball or the changeup, I feel like you have to get a little something extra and overthrow and miss badly.
Popped up, but out of play. Full count.
One of the keys for Wandy is the deception he has. Hides the ball well. Fastball counts with that ball right down the middle, and Desmond's still behind it. And he's not throwing 95 miles an hour. He's doing 90, 91.
Now another big pitch coming. Foul ball again.
And late on the fastball because Wandy's thrown enough curveballs and changeups tonight in all kinds of counts where hitters just can't sit on a fastball. He's way behind that heater, just kind of in protect mode.
Ground ball to shortstop. Manzella gets up and throws to Buckman. Big out for Wandy Rodriguez after he thought the inning had ended. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 3 left. 2-1 after. It's 2-1 Houston, bottom of the 5th. That was that controversial play in the Detroit one-hitter by Galarraga. A blown call at first by umpire Jim Joyce. And we'll hear a lot more about that one, JD.
Yeah, he's going to feel terrible. I mean, the damage is done.
Michael Bourne showing bunt, takes the pitch upstairs.
He's going to have a sleepless night tonight when he replays that video and replays that play in his head, realizing that cost the kid a perfect game.
Bourne pops it up. 2-1. Michael tried to bunt his way on, bunted back to Lannon in the first inning. He singled to center and scored in the third. The 2-run homer by Lee. And the Astros might be going to their bullpen now in the 6th inning. Wandy Rodriguez well over 100 pitches. 2-2. Wilton Lopez was warming up earlier. And there you see the bullpen right now with Lopez there, 59. Bourne flicks it to left field. Willingham, 1 out.
Yeah, depending on what Wandy says coming into the dugout at the end of that inning, if he feels like he's got a little bit left in the tank, he might run him back out there at the bottom of the order due up for the Nationals. So he might feel like he could cruise through that inning and save that bullpen one more. Kind of looks like that's the plan.
Yeah, he's not leaving. Jeff Keppinger walked and grounded out back to the pitcher. And strike one. So it was a one-hitter for Galarraga and a 3-0 win for Detroit over Cleveland. Galarraga had no walks and 3 strikeouts. 1-1. He beat Fausto Carmona in that game. Tigers are in second place, 4.5 behind Minnesota coming into this one. Zimmerman, 2 outs. And it's Lance Berkman coming up. Lannon keeps his club close at 2-1. Berkman singled in the first and a fly ball to center in the third. Lannon prevented Barry Bonds from hitting a home run in 07 right before he hit number 756. Strike one to Berkman. Cued toward first base. Dunn takes it to the base, and in the 5th inning the Astros go down quietly. They lead it 2-1 through 5. Coors Light freeze cam showing you a freeze with a fly ball to right field. Hunter Pence breaking on it, making a good catch. The Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light. Line drive by Nieves in the 2nd inning. And now a call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We'll show you Wilson Lopez coming into this ball game for the Astros for Wandy Rodriguez. Verizon called to the bullpen, bringing in Lopez for the 2nd straight game. And last night he got his 2nd win of the year, JD.
Yeah, he sure did. Came in and got 2 big outs. Came in with the bases loaded. Got 2 outs after Matt Lindstrom had given up the lead. Ended up picking up the W. Threw just 7 pitches in that game. He's been on a nice roll of late. Has that ERA down to 3.86. Strikeouts to walk numbers are outstanding. 15 punch-outs, his 3 freebies.
Actually his 3rd straight appearance in this series. He pitched hitless inning Monday and 2/3 of an inning without giving up a hit last night. And he came in with the bases loaded too.
He's come in with 12 men on base this year, and none of them have scored.
He came in the 9th inning, and he got Gonzalez, the number 9 hitter, last night. And the Astros trail by a run and enabled them to win with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. 1-1 to Morse. Broken back. Keppinger lays out. Gets up and gets it over to Berkman. Good play behind Lopez, who will usually get his share of ground balls.
Yeah, there are a lot of pitchers that claim they have a sinker. What many guys have is a two-seam fastball with a little running action on it. Lopez has got a true sinker. He's outstanding. Late downward movement on his fastball.
Nice effort by Keppinger. Jamie Quirk, the bullpen coach, was saying Lopez is one of those guys who probably can get by on one pitch.
There's a slider there. That's his secondary pitch, but yeah, he gets such good movement on that sinker, and he throws hard. He throws 93, 94 miles an hour at times. Started at home plate, let it dart.
Trivia question brought to you by AT&T.
Yeah.
Stash was second in steals in 92.
Kenny Lofton, Brownie's who I'm going with.
Oh, yeah, you got it, 66. Great work. That one runs in, and he takes it.
That Cleveland team, I can't remember how good they were in 92, if they were good already or getting good, but man, they have some firepower. Lofton, Bayarga, and Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez. Keep you up at night, contemplating facing that line.
Yeah, Sandy Alomar.
Robbie Alomar. Vizquel.
What a club it was. 1-2 as they enjoyed that play. Wilton Lopez becomes a very important man now, especially with the injury to Chris Sampson, who's on the disabled list. He gets a strikeout. Changing speeds there on Nieves. Well, the fact that he can pitch 3 days in a row really puts him in good stead. He's one of those guys who sprints in from the bullpen. He really wants to come in and pitch. Foul back by Landon. And you assume that most people do, but you don't always get that body language.
Now he works quickly on the attack. He sets the tone. He'd rather be the predator than the prey.
0-2 now to Landon. He's got a chance to have a very quick inning. He's thrown 10 pitches so far. A nice tempo. 1-2 for Wandy. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. That was the strikeout high for this year. He's had very little run support. He's in a position for win number 3 now. Great movement there. He struck out Landon. He did it on only 12 pitches in the inning, maintaining a 2-1 Houston lead. Carlos Lee. And he rips that fastball from John Lannon. A 2-run homer, number 6 of the year. His first since the 19th of May here against Colorado. For a 2-1 Houston lead, that's where it stands right now as he comes around for the third time. He bounced into a double play in the first.
So it's amazing how many times we see home run balls and we see the replay. And you watch the movement from the catcher because so many times the pitcher not able to hit his spot and he had to set up down and away and that ball drifted right back over the middle.
Pitch stays away from Carlos for ball 1 for Lannon. Lannon's thrown 62 pitches. Grounded foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. San Diego just scored in the bottom of the 9th to tie the Mets 1-1. They're now in the top of the 10th inning. Yankees leading Baltimore 9-1 after 8.
They could save everybody a lot of time in San Diego if they just started the game in the 7th, scored. Or tied, excuse me.
Yeah. Changeup makes it 3-1 for Lannon. He also works with a pretty good tempo. Grounded foul. How about the Toronto game last night? One of the hitters wanted timeout, was not granted timeout by the umpire, Angel Hernandez. And there's a fracas over that when he struck out. Tough week for umpires.
Carlos
so
Pena, I think, is the hitter.
Yeah, you're right. Second walk for Lannon.
Talking about a tough week for umpires, nobody will hear more than Jim Joyce tonight, the first base umpire in that would-be perfect game in Detroit, Armando Galarraga against the Cleveland Indians. Here's the final, what would have been the final play. Oh. Foot down, foot not there yet. The only thing is watch the little movement with the ball in the glove. I mean, there is some justification, I guess, when you get that look at it. And that's the first time I've had that good a look at the play. I was always kind of focusing on the feet. You know, there is an out there for Jimmy Joyce to argue that he didn't have control of the ball. I'm not man enough to make that call with a perfect game on the line. Well, you'll see the little as he cradles it there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still think that's the call there. And just the dispirited look on Galarraga and then Dombrowski up in the box. That's a tough one.
1-1 to Hunter Pence. He's hit the ball on the ground to shortstop both times. Nationals continue to play Adam Dunn off the bag.
Pappas lost a perfect game on a 3-2 pitch that was called ball 4 with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Who was that? Bruce Fleming?
I don't recall.
Can't remember the umpire.
I think I was in about the 5th grade probably when that happened.
Yeah. It's interesting with Dunn, though, playing off the bag today. More than one Astros base runner. He did it on Bourne, now he's doing it on Lee. Gets him into a fielding position a lot earlier than if he had to try to hold the runner and come off the base. And he's not the quickest guy around with footwork. Ground ball, Zimmerman. Zimmerman to second. Guzman to first. Safe at first. Well, Carlos Lee, not really a threat to steal. You can understand it more.
Well, with a lefty on the mound, you can understand it with everybody out there. Because what happens is the first baseman, Dunn, he'll start to drift back to the bag. He'll just lean a little bit, and every time he does it, the base runner goes back to the bag, essentially freezing him. The one guy who wouldn't put up with it was Bourne. He took a big lead, just took off. He didn't want to play the cat and mouse game anymore. We'll see with Pence what he does. But Bobby Valentine, when he managed the Mets, they used to do this all the time.
Hunter needs to get on the other side of him. Otherwise, you'll never see the pitcher.
He keeps throwing his arms up.
He blocks out the sun.
Yeah. Adam's going to have a new nickname, the Eclipse.
Ball 1 to Pedro.
So Hunter's just beside himself. He doesn't know what to do.
Well, actually, this came up with the Pirates and Reds many years ago in the 70s when Willie Stargell would stand in the baseline on Joe Morgan. You cannot block the runner's path to second base, and he's not doing it there. He's in front of the baseline.
Yeah, there may be something in the rules too that says you're not supposed to block the view. I was flipping through the rule book earlier today.
That was debated long and hard about 30 years ago, and they never could come up with a definitive declaration on it. But it's a problem for the runners.
I guess if it was in the rules, it would have been addressed tonight because that's been an issue.
2 balls, no strikes. I can distinctly remember that. Of course, the Reds raised the issue with the umpires that Stargell was, and the size differential between Stargell and Morgan was tremendous. It was a real problem for Joe to see around Willie and see the Pirate pitcher. Line to center field. Pence will stop at second base on the hit by Feliz. And once again, Feliz continues to show that extra hitting work has paid off for him.
Gets his hands back, front foot down, a little tighter swing than he had been showing a week or two ago. A little more direct path to the ball.
Bruce Fremming was the home plate umpire in that Milt Pappas game. Tommy Manzella with a bunt single and 2 at-bats. With the bullpen getting busy, it's Tyler Walker alongside one of the Washington lefties. Could be Doug Slayton there. 2 on and 1 out for Manzella. Flares it foul for strike 1. Lannon has given up 7 hits now, but Astros scoring twice on the lead homer in the 3rd inning, and they've been frustrated in the other frames. Lee hit into a double play in the 1st inning. They left 2 men on in the 2nd. 0-2.
Here's a little bonus trivia for you. In the last 3 seasons, not counting this one, 2007, 2008, 2009, the Washington Nationals have only had 1 pitcher, double digits in win totals. Can you name him?
Probably not. Trickles behind Nieves through the umpire's legs. 1 and 2. Why don't you go ahead and tell us?
I'll give you a little bonus.
Okay.
There's an Astro angle to this.
Tim Redding?
You are correct, sir.
Okay.
Timmy Ballgame won 11 there a couple of years ago. Landon led their team in wins last season with 9.
Jim Riggleman is on the 2nd step. 1 and 2 to Manzella. Quintero on deck. Ground ball wide of 3rd. Dave Clark has a new managing job in winter ball. He tossed that one up to a fan. He's going to be manager of the Licey Tigers of the Dominican Winter League. Pitches for Lannon. So Dave, that was announced today. He's going to be managing in winter ball in the Dominican. Two and 2. Astros scouting director, vice president Bobby Heck, and general manager Ed Wade will meet with the media Friday night right before the game to talk about the upcoming draft next Monday. Ooh, watch out over in that Astros dugout. Jason Michaels had to duck. He was there on the steps. That one got hammered right by him. Hey, Mike. A little sinker.
Yeah, a little sinker.
So the Astros are preparing to pinch hit for Lopez if they keep this rally going. With Michaels there. Ground ball to first. Dunn backhands. Throws low. Desmond with a relay to Lannon. Throws it away. And Hunter Pence comes in to score. Feliz goes to third. It's 3-1. They called safe at second on Feliz on that low throw from Dunn.
Really?
He's at third base now.
They're saying he was off the bag. Gary Darling. Well, there's Billy Hahn again.
Oh, boy.
We knew there was going to be controversy. Riggleman checking with Darling, the crew chief, first. Now he's going to talk to Hahn about it.
Hahn's going for the circuit in this series. Oh, yeah, he was not on the base. Got it right.
Good call.
It was a good call. From that angle, looked like he dragged his foot, but you couldn't see it. And Hunter came on home. He stepped on third. Our producer, Wade Robinson, thinks Hunter didn't step on third, but I think he did.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's solve this rhubarb right here.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Actually, maybe not. Well, you can't tell from that angle. Looks like he did right there with the right foot.
Good thing nobody was watching anyway.
Yeah. Now runners at first and third, and it's Quintero with Michaels on deck. There was an error on the throw from Desmond. Now Riggleman's coming out.
It's going to be a fielder's choice E6.
E6 allowing Feliz to get to third, and another error. Okay, they gave him one error for not stepping on second, and the other error for making the bad throw. So double error for Desmond, giving him 13 errors for the year now.
This day in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. June the 2, 1982. Alan Ashby swats a 3-run homer and a 2-run double to give him 5 RBIs. The Astros beat the Expos 6-4. Nolan Ryan picked up the win. This club used to be the Expos until 2005 when they moved to Washington.
You realize they had a 10-game winning streak in 05?
I remember there was something special about that. Here we go.
Squeeze. Quintero. Here's the toss from Lennon, and out. Feliz tagged out by Nieves on a high toss from Lennon. Feliz waited until Quintero got the bunt down.
And it was either a safety squeeze or just a terrible jump by Pedro. I'm guessing the former. It looked like a safety squeeze. He's not coming with the pitch. He's waiting for the bunt to be put down. And a great play by Lennon, the barehanded play. Nieves able to keep Feliz off the base.
Well, that was a good play. Pedro went in hard, got tagged in the face.
Trying to kick out the leg, and he doesn't get it. And Nieves hanging in there. Feliz never got to home plate.
Well, if he had hit home plate with his toe, he could have scored before that tag was made. But his legs went on the other side of the plate.
And Nieves wouldn't let him in.
Nope. Jason Michaels, the pinch hitter now for Wilton Lopez.
And if that's a straight squeeze, then Pedro's got to come down the line. There can't be any hesitation, any read. If it gets popped up and you're doubled off, or he bunts through it and you're hung out to dry, so be it. Straight squeeze as the base runner, you're just coming full bore. No hesitation. No, let's see what happens and try to read it. So it looked like a safety squeeze. We may find out after the fact that it was a straight suicide squeeze. It's just not executed properly.
Michael's a .205 hitter, has 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's 3 for 19, including a home run.
He's coming with the pitch. And with a little bit of a hesitation. If it's a squeeze play, he's just sprinting down the line. He's not going slow. He's not reading anything. He's just going.
Foul ball by J. Mike. 2 balls and a strike.
Wacky stuff with these last 2 games.
Crazy.
Well, this whole series has been wacky stuff.
Great thing about baseball. You go weeks and weeks, maybe even years without seeing certain things. And then in 1 week, maybe 3 different things will crop up. It'll make you wonder if you've ever seen them before. Rex Jones, though, has seen it all. The Astros assistant athletic trainer there. Left on a line, foul. He spun on that one. Hammered it.
Well, and lost in all that play. It was a sterling play made by Lannon. My goodness, that's a pretty play.
It was outstanding, as he pointed out. He didn't have time to do anything other than barehanded. Just wanted to get it out. Manzella at second, Quintero at first with 2 outs and a 2-2 count. And a turn back towards second. Michael Bourne's on deck, but Jim Riggleman's club trailing now 3-1, and he's staying with Lannon. 87 pitches for Lannon. Well, 2-2. The Astros handed Matt Capps blown save and a loss last night. Only his second blown save of the year. Riggleman used 5 relievers after getting 5 innings from his starter, Stammen. Cap foul by Michaels. Good battle here. Jason is a .228 career pinch hitter. Jim Riggleman has his club gaining a lot of respect this year in the National League. They'll have some nice crowds next week back home. Fly ball to right. Morse with the catch. The Astros tack on a run on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 men left. 3-1 Houston.
By Capital One, by Chevy, and by The Karate Kid in theaters on June 11th. Back here at Minute Maid Park, Astros and the Washington Nationals. Good one going right now, 3-1 as we go to the 7th inning. I want to remind you, stick around with us after the game. Join Allison Footer and myself for Astros Live post-game edition. You'll hear from Brad Mills, also take you around the big leagues. Lots to talk about, some things going on in the big leagues tonight. There's a strange evening, that's for sure, but good pitching here. So we'll have plenty to analyze with Allison Footer. That's all coming up after the game on Astros Live, and we're going to hope my voice will be better by then because I'm heading upstairs because I know, Brownie, you saved me a cough drop.
Send your intern up to get the cough drops, Kevin.
I'll send me up to get the cough drop.
Tim Burdack in the game on our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. He leads it 3-1 as he enters this game and faces the top of the order. Niger Morgan has 2 singles tonight. Showing bunt, and he gets a first pitch slider. It's good for strike 1.
Well, Tim has worked a couple of times since coming off the disabled list. First time in Cincinnati, not so good. 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning, and then game 1 of the series here, he pitched a scoreless 8th inning with a couple of punch outs.
This could be a chance for him to really reestablish himself tonight. With a 6.75 ERA for 15 games. And he gets a strikeout on Morgan. He abused him. Casey Daigle's warming up in the bullpen now for the Astros. The newcomer, Raj Brown Rock.
Burdack, a good choice here with lefty and then a switch hitter and then another lefty. So far so good as he punches out Morgan.
Casey Daigle getting loose. That's 1 out, and it's Guzman 0 for 3 next. Guzman takes a look at it. It's ball 1 with Adam Dunn on deck. Right-handed hitters are hitting .320 against Burdack. Lefties 100. It's 1-1. Wilson Lopez had a perfect 6th inning with 2 strikeouts. He has pitched 3 times in this series. Has gone a total of 2 2/3 innings with no hits, and no walks. 2-1. Chris Sampson on the disabled list with inflammation in the right shoulder. Got an injection last night. Was due to get another one tonight. And it will take a few days for things to settle in before he can begin his throwing program again. Strike. 2-2. I was thinking about Bryce Harper if he is the first player drafted. There was an interesting article on him today in Sports Weekly. Apparently there are some possible issues with him. Bounce to second, a 2-hopper to Keppinger.
He's considered by many to be the best power hitting prospect ever in the draft.
Wow.
The draft has been around since 1965. 30 to 31 home runs so far this year at junior college, and he plays in a league that uses wood bats.
Okay.
They're in the JUCO World Series now, so they're using the metal bats, the non-wood bats, if you will, to have an even playing field with the rest of the tournament. But in their league, it's a wood bat league. And he led, I think he was either tied or one behind or led all of junior college in home runs.
Strike to Adam Dunn. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Well, he's had all kinds of great stats going this year, obviously. Had a 10 RBI game. Had a couple of 6-hit games. Adam Dunn is 0 for 8 in his career against Burdack. But there are some reports that he is pretty obnoxious with his personality and taunts opponents, but then some other reports that say, well, only after they taunt him.
Well, a lot of kids are dumb when they're 17 or do dumb things. I shouldn't say it's not fair to say it's dumb, but you know, when you're 17, a lot of that stuff goes on.
Some growing to do.
Well, especially with all the attention that's been paid to him.
Mm-hmm. But his skills apparently just off the charts, as you say. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kevin Eschenfelder is very well supplied now with cough drops, and he will have an outstanding postgame show on Astros Live coming up right after the game tonight. Dunn fouls it back. Fell down to his knees.
Got a left cross in the jaw here. See what happened. I've heard of a slip pitch before, but that's not what I have in mind.
Literally. He slipped. Speaking of slip pitches, Tal Smith, who was around in the era of the slip pitch, was talking about the draft tonight at dinner time, JD. And he said that once upon a time back in the 60s, the Astros were scouting a catcher who was really known as a good hitter, and he struck out 4 times when they were scouting him. So they started scouting the pitcher. Dunker into center field, and Dunn is on with a single.
And was the pitcher someone we'd know?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I thought there was kind of a rest of the story, like it turned out to be some phenom.
I wish. Patty Smith has another story for us. Patty?
Well, I do. It's a little story about Hunter's Lodge, presented by Gallery Furniture. It's available for every Astros home game in 2010. You get a field box ticket near right field, plus a one-of-a-kind Hunter Pen T-shirt for only $30. But wait, there's still more. You can also take advantage of this great offer with a 6-game flex plan. Just visit Astros.com to buy yours tonight, guys.
Well, another bullpen move brings in Casey Daigle for his Astros debut. We'll see it right after this. Is brought to you by the 2011 Jaguar XJ tonight. Wandy Rodriguez was stellar tonight. Even though he lasted 5 innings, he gave up just 1 run. He struck out 8. That's why he had a high pitch count. And the curveball was working, and reestablished the fastball, JD.
Yeah, a lot of deep counts for Wandy. The pitch count really became an issue there, but bottom line, 5 solid innings. Nice bounce back performance after getting knocked around last time in Cincinnati.
Paid attendance tonight is 26,736, and these fans are watching Casey Daigle prepare for his Astros debut this season at AAA Round Rock. Casey was 1-1. His ERA there was 2.96, and he had 7 saves. And he had pitched in back-to-back games and then arrived last night as Chris Sampson was placed on the disabled list. So skipper Brad Mills did not want to use him last night and did not. Now he faces Ryan Zimmerman. He represents the potential tying run. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. And you strike one from Casey Daigle, who is making his first major league appearance since the 06 season.
It's been a long climb back for him. Came up with the Diamondbacks in 2004, made 10 starts that year. Finished 2-3 with a 7.16 ERA, then 10 relief appearances in the 06 season.
Split finger pitch is his best. 1 ball, 1 strike. Casey, 29 years old. Last year he pitched at Round Rock 49 times. He's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Went to high school at Sulphur, Louisiana. Pitcher John Thompson went to that school. He's married to the former Jenny Finch, famous softball pitcher in the Olympics.
Ooh, and he just got squeezed.
Yes, he did. Rather be squeezed by Jenny Finch, but he got squeezed by the umpire. And it's 2-1.
And so fitting that the 2 pitchers would have a son and name him Ace.
Yeah, that's great. Hit the shortstop. Manzella to his left with the toss to Keppinger. And a broken bat force play ends the top of the 7th inning. No runs ahead and a man stranded. 3-1 Astros. Point energy. Wandy Rodriguez has a season high 8 strikeouts tonight in his 5 innings. Carlos Lee provided a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Washington 1 for 6. Houston 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Now Michael Bourne bunts and fouls it. Bottom of the 7th inning. Strike 1 to Bourne. He's 1 for 3. Tim Burdack went 2/3 of an inning, allowing 1 hit, no runs, with no walks, 1 strikeout. Casey Dago got the out on Zimmerman. Now Lannon drops a strike in on Bourne to go in front 0-2 in the count. With Keppinger on deck, Berkman due up 3rd.
Brandon Line warming in the Astros pen. Presumably he's got the top of the 8th.
Guzman tosses out Bourne. 1 out. And Keppinger is grounded out twice after walking in the 1st. That's in San Diego 1-1. Oh, it just ended. San Diego dropped the 4 spot in the bottom of the 11th to win it. 5-1 grand slam. Adrian Gonzalez, his 10th home run.
Walk-off grand slam. How about that?
That's a beautiful thing.
Walk-off wins 3 games in a row now for the Dodgers.
We've got Andre Ethier back now. Soft liner into left. Keppinger's on for the 2nd time. He's aboard for Berkman.
Lannon hanging in there, pitching pretty well tonight. Jimmy Riggleman would love to see him get through 1 more inning. But he's got action in the bullpen just in case.
That's hit number 8 for the Astros. Berkman got 1 of those in the 1st. A single to left. He's 1 for 3.
In fact, if he doesn't get a double play here to end this inning, that might be it for Lannon with Carlos Lee coming up next. Riggleman may want a right-hander.
Tyler Walker's warming up. 1-1. Lannon's closing in on 100 pitches. He's at 96 right now with Walker there. Milwaukee 2, Florida 2 after 7 in Florida. Desmond bobbles the ball, drops it, and everybody's safe. He backed up on it. Tough night for him with his 3rd error.
Yeah, that's contrary to the reputation. You saw the stat sheet coming in. He had 11. I said, that's a big number, but I got asking around. I said, he's played pretty well, but really struggled here tonight.
A lot of flash in the way he handled that.
And just backing up on it. Come and get it.
It's like a double switch coming for Riggleman now. Yeah, he let that ball play him. Riggleman has gone to the home plate umpire, Bruce Dreckman. He wants to make a double move here. And we'll find out about it right after we return following these messages.
iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com At Bat 2010. It features play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Find it all at Astros.com.
Tyler Walker had a long outing, 2 1/3 innings, in closing out the 14-4 win on Monday. Walker did not give up a run, allowing 1 hit and walking 2. He's 1-0 with a 4.05 ERA.
Faces Carlos Lee here with runners on first and second and 1 out. Adam Kennedy is the new second baseman for the Washington Nationals in the double switch. So put Walker in the 2 spot in the batting order, Kennedy in the 9 hole.
Conference at the mound. Walker ready to go to work. He just turned 34 a couple of weeks ago. Native of San Francisco, went to the University of California. Carlos Lee with a 2-run homer in the 3rd also has bounced into a double play and walked. Strike 1 for Walker.
A lot of times the manager, when he does a double switch like that, he'll remove the hitter who made the last out in the previous inning, because he's the last guy to come around in the batting order. But for the Nationals, it was Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Dunn preceding him. Those are 2 bats that Riggleman does not want to lose. He doesn't want to lose those home run hitters down a couple of runs here. He does take Christian Guzman out of the game.
So that leaves a pitcher in the number 2 spot, and Kennedy batting 9th.
Guzman, one of the top hitters in the league in terms of batting average, but not the power potential, of course, of Zimmerman and Dunn.
All back, still 0-2. Last year, Lee made a 2-run double off Walker in Philadelphia in late September. Walker pitched 32 times for the Phils last season. He was 2-1 with a 3.06 ERA, and then moved along through free agency to this club in January.
And down 2 strikes. Carlos will be looking to poke something over the second baseman's head into center field here.
He fouls it.
Well, Carlos, one of those power hitters, dangerous, of course, so pitchers want to stay away from him. But you're really playing to his strength in 2-strike situations when you go away. And he's abandoned trying to knock the ball or jerk the ball out of the ballpark. He's just looking to hit it the other way or hit it up the middle.
Jammed, he pops it up. Adam Dunn comes over and gloves it.
Just a great adjustment there by Walker and the catcher Nieves. Took a shot with the fastball away. They got away with it and then came in. I think that's a good pitch. I think you got a guy who's in protect mode and a guy who has a reputation of willing to just go up the middle with it. You could probably beat him with a good fastball inside if you make the pitch. And he made the pitch.
Two outs now. It's Hunter Pence. He's 0 for 3. Bullpen so far vastly improved over last year for the Nationals. They ranked last in the majors in ERA in bullpens last year. Smoke to right center field. Nigel Morgan will have to chase it down. 2 runners will score. Hunter Pence is headed for third base. Kepinger's home. Berkman comes in. Throw to third. Not in time. It's 5-1. 2-run triple for Hunter Pence, his first triple.
And the Astros make the Nationals pay. The error by Desmond opening the door. Nigel Morgan, a little bit of a bad read on that ball. I don't think it would have mattered. It was really blistered, but his first step was in. And then he said, wait a minute, that's not going to work. He was so quick to the ball. I don't mean Morgan, he is, but I'm talking about Pence with that swing. Short stroke and powerful.
2-run triple. Hunter now has 26 runs batted in. He's at third for Pedro Feliz.
Some guys, to hit the ball with authority, have to load up, take a big swing. Not Pence. He's so strong.
It's 9 hits for the Astros now. Feliz has 2 of those. It's 0-2. Chop past the pitcher. Desmond comes after it, throws to first, and Dunn makes the tag on Feliz. The Astros come up with 2 runs on 2 hits with an error and a man left in the 7th inning. They lead it 5-1. Now 5-1 Houston, top of the 8th inning. Casey Daigle on the mound against Josh Willingham as that youngster watches. 9 hits for Houston, 6 for the Nationals. The Nationals have made 3 errors, all by Desmond, their shortstop. Daigle delivers, and there's strike 1 to Willingham. He is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, and he reached on catcher's interference.
Bless you. You're welcome.
Tough night for John Lannon with the lack of fielding support. In 6 1/3 innings, Lannon allowed 8 hits, 5 runs. Only 2 of them earned, walking 2 and fanning 2.
Yeah, this club has made a bunch of errors this year. The Nationals.
47. That was one of the prime focuses this spring, to try to cut down on all the errors they had made last year. Tight. 2-1 to Willingham. Daigle talked about that long journey back since the 06 season to the major leagues. He was released last year by the Rangers, and the Astros signed him. He had good numbers at Round Rock with a 2.91 ERA. Good play by Feliz to his left. He spins, throws him out. And Daigle pitched well enough this spring. Brad Mills said he could have made our club. There just wasn't enough room for him, but we were impressed with his work.
So he went down to AAA, continued to pitch well, got his opportunity. It's a pretty play here by Feliz. Range to his left, keeping that glove down. Watch how low he stays throughout the play. A lot easier to start low and then come up to react to a bad hop than it is to have that glove up and try to stab at the ball down.
Now Desmond, he's 1 for 3. Showing bunt, he takes strike 1.
He's got a barrow in the marketplace.
Does it?
Molly is a singer in the band. Obla-dee, Obla-da. Remember that song?
Yeah. Beatles, what year?
Yeah, I don't know.
0-2. Casey Daigle is 6'5". Some good downward action there.
Trying to atone for that error by knocking one out of the ballpark. A wild swing.
One and two. Jenny Finch won Olympic gold and silver. Her son Ace is 3 years old. That's your nickname too, JD. You're going to have to meet him.
It's a lot of pressure to live up to that nickname.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a splitter.
2-2. During any major league season, there are usually a lot of guys in the bullpen who get opportunities, injuries, demotions, trades. So most clubs try to stock up and get as deep as they can in spring training. Take a long look at those guys who are not going to make the big league team, so they'll know which ones to call up. 3-2, and usually when it comes to call-up time, it's whoever's hot. Even though a guy has a good spring, and he's getting called up in early June if he hasn't done too well, it's going to require turning the page. Fly ball, Michael Bourne in right center field waiting for this one. 2 out.
Yeah, that's why you got to be careful when you send a guy down who's performing well in spring training. You don't want to say, hey, you're going to be the first guy that gets the call unless you mean it. I mean, if you mean it and the guy's, even if he's struggling, you call him up anyway. That's one thing. But you hate to tell a guy that and then renege on the deal because he's scuffling a little bit.
Absolutely. Things can change in a hurry. Mike Morse is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's into left field for a single for Morse. Hit number 8. And Nieves is due up next. He's 0 for 3.
Those 2 runs the Astros scored at the bottom of the 7th allowed Brandon Lyon to sit down out there in the bullpen and Casey Daigle to come back out for the 8th inning.
It's a good retraction. That was hit number 7.
That could prove meaningful not only in tonight's game but tomorrow as well. By an extra day of rest for those late inning relievers.
Jamie Clark is answering the bullpen phone. And Nieves looks at ball 1. Brad Mills' club leading by 4 here.
And Brad Mills has a luxury that he hasn't had for much of the year. Now he's got 3 lefties out there in the pen, so Shashin's going to start to warm up. Adam Kennedy, left-handed hitter, waits on deck, and then the lineup turns over with Morgan left-handed, pitcher spot, and then Adam Dunn.
Manzella gets it to second. Keppinger with a force play on Morris. No runs, a hit. A man left. Bottom of the 8th coming. 5-1 Astros. 8th inning against Tyler Walker. Walker threw 39 pitches on Monday. There's the rainbow uniform. Rainbow cups as well here on display on this Wednesday night at Minute Maid Park. We have a day game tomorrow at 1:05.
I had a rainbow jersey on my bingo card.
I did too.
Knock that off.
Tommy Manzella dropped down a beautiful bunt single in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. Tyler Walker delivers, and it's strike 1. Astros about hit the Nationals 9-7. 3 Washington errors have complicated the process for the Nats. It's 0-2. It's Brian Moeller and J.D. Martin tomorrow at 1:05. Both looking for win number 1 of the year. Work them out for out number 1.
So we've been talking about this near perfect game off and on tonight, and Jim Joyce, the umpire who missed the call, has issued a statement, or at least he was quoted as saying, "I just cost that kid a perfect game. I thought he beat the throw. I was convinced he beat the throw until I saw the replay. The biggest call of my career, and he blew it."
Terrible feeling.
Yeah, that's tough. Feel bad for him. Feel bad for the kid, of course.
Alberto Quintero is 1 for 3. There's strike 1. Well, it's especially a difficult feeling for umpires like Don Bankinger. World Series with the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals. In '85, they would call at first base. Todd Worrell taking a throw. And he's just never been able to avoid hearing about that, of course.
Oh, yeah, and he received all kinds of death threats. And,
yeah.
I mean, that got real ugly.
Going way too far.
Game 6 of the '85 World Series, yeah. The Royals went on to win that game and the series.
Walker's got a streak going, 14 straight strikes he's thrown. What do you think the record is?
I do not know.
That counts as number 15. It's his 2nd straight strikeout. And Corey Sullivan is on deck to pinch hit, and he'll come up. He really came through with a big pinch double last night in the 9th inning and scored the tying run. Bourne scoring the winning run right on his heels. Chacin warming up for the 9th. Corey was telling me about that at bat. He said those at bats are different. One last night with a game on the line compared to a 5-run type ball game. The whole feeling is different. Here's ball 1. He is 6 for 32 as a pinch hitter. He's been used more than any other pinch hitter in the National League. He's driven in 4. He thinks that helps to be up there more often. 2 balls, no strikes. Skipper Brad Mills was saying before the game he just really has liked Corey's approach to pinch hitting these last few weeks. And again, he's ahead in the count. This fly ball hits for Niger Morgan in left center. And it's a 1-2-3-8 for Tyler Walker. We moved in the 9th inning with a score of 5-1 Astros.
baseball fans. Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the great state of Texas. If you would like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, we encourage you to visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
That youngster might do it. Gustavo Chacin is pitcher number 5 for Brad Mills tonight in this 5-1 game. He has no decisions. His ERA is 1.86. He hit a home run on Monday.
Oh, that's probably the most important thing. His first at bat in 5 years. His first major league home run, his first major league hit. I don't know how many at bats he's had. Can't be many.
I think it was 7.
Yeah.
Well, he also pitched 2 2/3 innings on Monday, throwing 31 pitches. The Astros were blown out 14-4, but he went deep. He came in the 3rd inning after Roy Oswalt was ejected. Faces Adam Kennedy, who is up for the first time, batting in the 9 spot, playing second base. Kennedy's a .248 hitter. There's ball 1. Casey Daigle went 1 1/3 innings. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. 2 homers for Kennedy, 15 runs batted in. It's a 1-1 count. Win number 3 on the line for Wandy Rodriguez. He went the first 5, giving up 1 run, striking out 8. One and 2. Niger Morgan, another left-handed hitter's on deck. And the pitcher spot comes up 3rd. And a strikeout for Chacin opens the 9th.
Nationals Club strikes out a lot. Having this series anyway.
Well, they only rank 8th for the season, but you're right, a high rate in this series.
Chacin gives you a lot to look at when you're in that batter's box. He's not a real hard thrower, but throws a front arm way up in the air. And distracting.
Alberto Gonzalez is on deck. There's ball 1 to Morgan. Morgan is 2 for 4. Gonzalez and the other catcher, Maldonado, the only right-handed batters available on the bench right now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez, Lopez, Burdack, Daigle, Chacin tonight.
Now you come out of a game after 5 innings with a 1-run lead, you're hoping to win it, but you don't necessarily expect to win it. Great job by the bullpen tonight. And nice job of the Astros offensively playing add-on. 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th to widen the margin.
2 and 2. Last night, JD, the Nationals struck out 13 times. And they had 8 strikeouts on Monday. 11-12 so far tonight. Make it 13 as Morgan goes down.
Gustavo Chacin, after hitting a home run, may not give up another hit the rest of the year. He's just feeling it. The Astros have not won back-to-back games since sweeping the Cardinals in the middle of this month in St. Louis. They haven't won back-to-back games here since sweeping the Pirates. April 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Is that right? Am I looking at that correctly? Yeah. Wow.
Alberto Gonzalez hits one to Hunter Pence in right.
The winning streak.
That's a streak. It's a 1-2-3 9th inning. Chacin closes the door on the Nationals. The Astros win at 5-1. They've taken 2 out of 3 in this series, with Game 4 coming at 1:05 tomorrow. There's the final as Wandy Rodriguez goes to 3-7, beating John Lannon, who is 2-3. We'll be right back.